Peace. So we are in 2024 November. We're a few weeks out from the 2024 election. And the whole world knows that Donald J. Trump won by a landslide, mind you. And so I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm truly thankful to the Most High that, in fact, the man won, because although I wanted him to, I actually doubted that the system would allow him to take office. But by the grace of God, he's there. And thus far, he is moving out according to what he said he was going to do. He's assembling an all-star cast that we would call his administration. And the planet has responded positively. The market went up immediately. And well wishes came pouring in from leaders all across the planet. So it's interesting because I'm beginning to see a few people that stayed on the fence starting to come across. I'm talking about famous folks who didn't openly call the Democrats on the carpet for what they were doing. But I'm beginning to see some celebrities all of a sudden and people talking about, yeah, Trump this, Trump that. So I just want the record to reflect, me and mine, we've been rocking with Donald J. Trump. And it's important in the conversations that I have with folks, the goal and intention is to do away with the divide, right? He is clearly a divisive personality, right? But I think that his personality and who he is has evolved tremendously from where we all came to know him some 30, 40 years ago to the man he is now in his 70s and second tenure in the office. So, but the point I want to bring home here is I've asked people who are sensible people that have been friends of mine, family, even strangers, perfect strangers, who, when the topic comes up, that I've supported Trump, those that do not understand it, they immediately go to the same talking points. He's a racist. He's a sexist. How can you support somebody that's so evil, this and that? But when asked to produce evidence to support these claims, they're hard pressed. And even beyond that, I asked these same sensible people a few basic questions that I ask you. Number one, not necessarily in this order, but number one, do you agree with 15 to 20 million illegal immigrants being in this country? Do you agree with those people getting resources, food certificates, housing vouchers, cash? Does that make sense to you? Every person I've asked thus far has said no. I asked the second question. I said, okay, well, if that don't make sense to you, tell me this. How do you feel about transvestites coming into schools, reading to elementary school children, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade? How do you feel about some of these school districts having books in their libraries that's talking about little boys sucking on each other's things and little girls rubbing their privacies together? How do you feel about these schools administering hormone blockers and other things that begin the transitioning process for impressionable minds without the permission of their parents? Does that make sense to you? They all say no. Then I ask another question. This is my big three. I said, well, how do you feel about $500 billion in U.S. taxpayer money, plus weapons and now personnel being a part of these open conflicts on the planet? Does that make sense to you? Do you support the open genocide being perpetuated in Gaza by Israel? They all say no. So those three things, and that didn't even jump down the rabbit hole. After those three things, the choice should be clear. So it's policy over personality. Let's not forget that. And let's watch this man work. We got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. getting ready, is in position to help make America healthy. By the way, I am dropping the A. I have not utilized MAGA for quite some time because as a black man in America, the hardcore truth is America has never truly been great for us, right? Because it's still a clear-cut difference in what life is like for black people versus the so-called majority in this country, right? And so I'm very clear about that. Now, I will never make apologies for that because we have to be better than our counterparts, right? And the system is designed in such a way that we are operating from a deficit. And let us never forget that this country was built on our backs by free labor. So I'm never going to forget that, and I'm not going to let anybody forget that. And nobody ever get it twisted and think I'm not clear about what it is, right? But at the very same time, it's policy over personality. The Democratic Party has thrived on our poverty, right? Democratic policies are built toward poverty. So if you are in position and you got a recognizable nonprofit or you got that kind of connection, it makes sense for you. But I watched the policy work, and in order to get benefits, you can't have nothing, right? It's income limited, all type of things that come into play before you get a benefit from historic Democratic policy. The difference with the Republican policy is, again, prefaced by, as a black person, it's different. When they run your zip code, when they run your social security number, the rules change. It just does, right? But if you get your shit together and you're a little bit better and you put that extra work in, you can extract something out of this system. You can extract something out of the policy and you can move forward. So at the same time, although we did build this country and it's free slave labor, 400 or 500 years of oppression, at the very same time, we are at the highest levels within this country and have unprecedented opportunity to achieve and do better and be great. So that's my goal. I'm hoping to see America be great, period.